What is up YouTube, Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming at you guys with my first video in a little while. Apologies, but there have been a few things that came up, mainly the fact that I got a new job, but there have been a few things that kept me from further making more videos. But now that the next challenge is out, I have reason to make a variety of new videos, and I'm going to try and get on top of that as much as I can. So the first of a wave of videos I'm going to be bringing you guys is another event report. This event report is going to be another one from our regional tour. This is going to be an event report for the Aylesbury regionals, which I attended yesterday, which was Sunday the 9th of November. Now, this was the second stop on the Team Nando's tour. For me at least, I did miss YCS. I did miss the Leicester regionals on the Saturday because I was sadly too tired from work, but I did attend the larger Aylesbury regionals the next day, and it ended up taking 5th place with Shaddolls. I did want to play Burning Abyss for the event. I did not rate Clyfort. I wanted to play Burning Abyss, but I did not have it built in time, so I ended up taking Shaddolls, and I ended up going 5-1-1, that being 1 loss and 1 draw. My only loss being to Clyfort, and my draw being to Burning Abyss Shaddoll 60 card control. And I won every single one of my mirror matches, and then I also managed to beat Satellanites and I forgot the name of it now, Burning Abyss, which made me pretty pleased, because I actually personally thought this was the weakest of the 3 decks. While I dislike Clyfort, I respect that it's powerful, and I felt that this deck was actually worse than it. I just feel that I play it better than I would play Clyfort. But I did get battered by Clyfort, but we're going to talk about that matchup when we get into the profile. But for now, we're just going to start going through the list, and I guess I'll talk about my matchups at the end of the event, at the end of the video. I do owe someone a shout out, but I'm afraid I've left the business card downstairs, and I've been a bit busy with a doctor and things today, so I'm afraid I've forgotten your username at the moment, but I will definitely give you a shout out in my next video. And also, big shout to all the people who came up to me at the regional, asked me for signatures, just generally told me they really enjoyed my content and had a go at me for not doing any. Thank you guys, you really kicked me into gear, and big love to you guys. Anyway, let's get on to the profile. So we start off with double Shaddoll Falco. You're going to see a pattern with regards to the numbers of the Shaddolls. Falco is my favourite one throughout the event, simply because of his ability to set himself and then just set up any Shaddoll monster you want that's in your graveyard. I absolutely love that. 2 Shaddoll Hedgehog, let's put these over here. 2 Shaddoll Hedgehog, just staple in my opinion. You want to get to your fusion cards, and now with the power of El Shaddoll fusion, you kind of want to get to that even faster. So I definitely feel that Hedgehog is very, very necessary. Double Squamata, just I drew this a lot. This is really good removal, especially games 2 and 3 for the Vanity's Fiend, which you're definitely going to see a lot against this deck. And it was also just really versatile to allow my Mathematician to send Beast. And also, if I had it in hand, I could El Shaddoll fusion it, and it would basically just count as anything that I wanted to send, so it was really powerful. I played Double Dragon. Removal, definitely you need to have this in the format right now. Simply because of Clyfort and Skill Drain, and having it as an out to the Scout. It's also an out to all sorts of other things. It's just really, really strong. But mainly the Clyfort matchup, this card is insane. I have other things for other matchups, but this you have to at least play 2 just because of the Clyfort matchup. And then the only other Shaddolls I play are 2 copies of Shaddoll Beast. I'm normally a huge advocate of playing 3, but because this is the Artifact variant, this is Artifact Shaddoll, among other things, I really did not want to play a 3rd Beast, because that would bring me to 6 Tribute Summonable monsters in the main deck, and I didn't want to have to start playing other inconsistent cards like the Monarch Stormforth to support that. I just wanted to play less. I never had any problem playing 2 Beasts. I never wanted a 3rd. So while I respect that the 3rd is good, I never actually needed the 3rd. It was already strong enough. I already had access to this enough to tribute set it in the mirror match, hence why I won all of my mirrors. It was just very, very strong in that number. So that was the 10 Shaddolls I played. Lovely German Shat and Poop Shaddolls, except these are Bambola Ombra Falcos, because I don't have German Falcos, god damn it. I'm going to move into some of the supporting cast. So we play a little Earth Engine, a little mini Earth Engine in the form of 2 Mathematicians, mainly because my 3rd is still on loan to a friend, but at the same time I didn't feel the need for the 3rd. This is 41 cards, and I'm happy that I didn't play the 3rd because I never really needed it. I just wanted the Mathematicians because they were a really solid opener. If you open Mathematician Shadow games, you should usually win that game, which was something I did, I wouldn't say frequently, but it happened more than once, I guess. And a card which he actually comboed somewhat well. He's also an Earth for Sheki Naga, which is quite nice. You can do cool things like if your opponent has a skill drain up, you can summon this, activate its effect, and then chain El Shaddoll Fusion. And then when the El Shaddoll Fusion resolves, he will be off the field and his effect will resolve, and you can send the dragon to kill the skill drain. So that's something you can do against the Clyfort matchup. And then your Sheki Naga is on the field and it's bigger than their guys, so it's pretty cool. Sorry, its defense is bigger than their guys, even though the skill drain resolved. So it's pretty cool. Or if they chain the skill drain to this, you can wreck the skill drain. And then the other card I'm playing is Glow Up Bulb. A Glow Up Bulb is a card I had a lot of fun with. I used this a fair amount to make Star Eater, and I used it. I think I used it once to make Vulcan as well, Vulcan the Divine. It was just really, really solid. I really liked it because I could send it off of Shaddoll Fusion. It was the best card to send off of Shaddoll Fusion to make Sheki Naga from the deck, and there were definitely situations in which I made Sheki Naga. And also having this gave me the ability to, if my opponent had an extra deck monster and I was fearing their back row in certain situations, I could just send Shaddoll Fusion, sending this, make the Sheki Naga, then immediately summon this and make the Star Eater, get the Shaddoll Fusion back. So I basically made the Star Eater for free, and it just do really good combo plays like that. So that's the little Earth engine I played, and then I played a few lights. The first 3 lights I played 7 lights in this deck. This is more lights than I've ever played. I play except for Chaos, but this is the most lights I've ever played in Artifact Shells. I played 3 copies of Artifact Moraltech. I felt I needed 3, because in testing I sometimes sent 1 off of Shaddoll Fusion, and you want to have 3 for your Sanctums. At the end of the day, Sanctum is a very, very strong card. I wanted to have 3 Moraltech for the Sanctum. Then I played 3 of the newly released Denko Sekka. We need to talk about Denko for a moment, because Denko is ridiculous. Denko was in here for the Burning Abyss matchup mainly, but also for the Satellarknight matchup. Its effect reads, cannot be special summoned. While you control no set spell or trap cards, neither player can set new spell or trap cards, nor activate set spell or trap cards on that are set on the field. So, what this card basically is a Cold Wave. When you're playing against Burning Abyss, that is the main matchup you want to have this for, you'll notice in my list I don't play very many traps, so I often do not have very many traps. So often if I'm going to summon this, I don't have any set cards, so its effect is going to be in play immediately. What you can do is your opponent will often make a Dante and another Burning Abyss on board, so that if you happen to Shaddoll Fusion, they can Fire Lake the Dante away and force your Shaddoll Fusion to minus you. Or just fail to resolve. What you can, and they will recklessly make that Dante occasionally, or they will make the Dante thinking that they have a way to protect themselves from the Shaddoll Fusion with, say, a Vanity's Emptiness. What you can do is, if you open the Denko Sekka and the Shaddoll Fusion, you can literally summon the Denko. The moment that summon sticks, if they do not have warning, it is going to stick. They can't respond to it because it's a continuous effect. They can't bombless or anything like that. They literally have to negate the summon. So, once that Sekka sticks, it's stuck. All of your opponent's back row is turned off, and you are free to do whatever you please. And there were some turns in which I did disgusting amounts of stuff. There was one turn in which I had the Shaddoll Fusion, El Shaddoll Fusion, and Super Polymerization, and I just annihilated his field because he couldn't do anything about it, because all of his back row was locked out. Like, this is mainly in testing. I regrettably only saw this once against the Burning Abyss player that I did play in the event, but I did have it against the Satellarknight player, and it was huge against the Satellarknight player, because of course Satellarknights rely on their back row. So I felt that Denko was an incredible pick for the event, and I would definitely run it again. And the last light I played was, of course, Big Daddy himself, Blackluster Soldier, which I saw an embarrassing amount. It was ridiculous how often I saw this, but it's a random chance in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a juggernaut of the game. Absolutely loved it. Put in so much work. And I'm glad he's a light, because you can, like, push through with him and then El Shaddoll fusion him away, which is crazy. For the spells, I played 1 Raigeki. While I respect that this card does not advance your game state, it resets the game state for you. Your opponent can make certain boards in which you just cannot get over them, so the Raigeki solves that problem. It's a reset button. It's also, as I will always preach, an out to Vanity's Emptiness, because your opponent will often try and make a board and then activate the Vanity's Emptiness to slow you down. You can just Raigeki your way through that board and take the Vanity's Emptiness away. So the Vanity's Emptiness soft locks, this card beats. That's why I play this. I cut the Allure because I didn't like it, because I only played 10 Darks. I didn't want to be banishing them. Basically, I wanted to have my Shaddolls. I wanted my Shaddolls to last as long as possible, and I often ran out. That was a thing that happened quite frequently, but so I didn't feel the need for a lure in the deck. So I played one Foolish Burial. It's basically whatever you want it to be, so of course I'm going to play the Foolish. And it can be Bulb as well, which is quite nice. One Super Polymerization. Discarding Bulb off of this is great because, of course, it's basically like a free cost. I just really liked Super Polymerization across the day. It was just a really good card, as you'd expect. Double Mystical Space Typhoon. This was for Clayfor and Vanity's Emptiness, which is seeing a lot more play in the main deck Shadow Mirrors and things like that. So, I felt that maining 2 was going to be effective. I may go up to 3. It was just a very, very solid card to have, simply because I knew that I could play my Shaddoll Fusions and not have to worry about it getting Emptiness because I could chain this. So, that was the thing. And then the only other spells I played were 3 copies of the mighty Shaddoll Fusion, and 3 copies of its arguably better twin, El Shaddoll Fusion. El Shaddoll Fusion was just dirt throughout the entire day. The mere fact that this card is a quick play makes it absolutely disgusting. The fact that you can make a play in your main phase with a Shaddoll Fusion, and then just go ham in your battle phase with El Shaddoll Fusion is silly. And you can wait until your opponent is like taking their turn, and they can try and remove your cards, and you can El Shaddoll Fusion them away, dodge the targeting, or if it's in their battle phase and they make a play to just try and get over one of your little set weenies, and you can El Shaddoll Fusion and turn that set weenie into a construct. The construct can then send a card. It can send a dragon. Like, it can do silly things. One of my favorite plays was I had 2 cards set. I had El Shaddoll Fusion set and a Moraltac set. And what I did was I had a Sekka and a Falco in hand. I believe it was one of the two. It was like a Shaddoll and a Sekka, and I flipped this. Send the Shaddoll and the Sekka made construct, of course, I think it was Falco. Yeah, the Falco sets itself construct, sends a dragon. The dragon I then used to destroy my Moraltac. I flip the Moraltac over and destroy his monster. Next turn I make a Michael, and I now have Michael construct, and it's just disgusting. So you can do silly things with this. But that rounds off the spells. That's all the spells I played. There was nothing I missed, in all honesty. There was nothing else I wanted to play. And then I played 10 traps. I played 41 cards in total because I could not decide on the 40. So I played 3 copies of Artifact Sanctum. Sanctum was just really, really good. It just put in so much work, and the ability to make Michael, because you play Moraltac, is one of the main reasons why I wanted to play the cards. So that was that. 3 copies of Sinister Shadow Games. While I appreciate that you do run out of Shaddolls quite quickly, you want to open it. You really want to open it. If you open Sinister Shadow Games Falco, you shouldn't lose that game. So, or like Mathematician. So, like, you have loads of ways to profit off this card. So I really like the Sinister. And then the only other traps I played were 2 copies of Shaddoll Core, because I feel like Shaddoll Core is your best way into Shekinaga and Grista. In fact, it's my only way into Grista in the deck. And with the amount of bouncing cards at the moment, and the amount of people trying to find ways around your Shaddolls without giving you the fusion cards back, the ability to make a Shaddoll and then immediately have the fusion back by using this is just so, so strong. So I really like Core. And then I played 2 Emptiness, because I feel that Emptiness was a really strong card still, but I don't feel like it's that necessary. It's also really cool with Denko Sekka, because you can literally summon the Denko, go any response. If they literally if they pass priority, you can go, okay, activate Emptiness. You can't activate any of your back row because I have no more sets. So that was the thing. That was the complete main deck, 41 cards. We're going to move on to the extra now. Sorry, I'm still a little bit poorly. So to start off with the extra, we're going to start with the fusions. I play 3 copies of El Shaddoll Construct. Construct is, without a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion, the single best Shaddoll. It's the best generic simply because of its destruction attack. It also has the send effect, which is unique to itself. So I feel like Construct is the single best problem solver in the deck. So I feel like you should play 3, because I play 6 lights. Like, you're going to make 3 all day. I made 3 loads, so Construct was in my opinion, the best Shaddoll. I then played Double Winder. I only ever made 1 per game. I made it frequently, especially against the Burning Abyss player. I made it against Satella Knights, but it wasn't hugely useful against some of my matchups, simply because a lot of people were playing Breakthrough Skill, and a lot of the time it hit the grave, and I will have seen that there. And basically, if the Breakthrough Skill was in grave, this card you shouldn't make this. So as long as there was a Breakthrough Skill in grave, I didn't make this. Which is kind of sad, but it happens. And then I played 1 of each of the new Shaddolls, because I honestly didn't make them very much, and they're very situational in their use. They're very powerful, but they're very situational. So I played 1 El Shaddoll Shekinaga, basically the Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare of the deck, an absolutely incredible card, 3k ass, level 10, really, really good with Glow Up Bulb. not much else to say. Made it about 3 or 4 times. It was pretty good. And then a card I never actually made was Shaddoll Grista. Grista was a card I played for Satella Knights, and I played it for I forgot the name of it now. Satella Knights and Clyfort. I played this for Clyfort because their Pendulum Summon is inherent, which means it can negate it. It's like a Black Horn of Heaven. And of course I used it for Satella Knights because they can't Xyz through it, because I can just use the effect to kill their Xyz monsters. I never sadly made this, but it was there in theory. It was there if I needed it, but I never actually needed to make it because I got battered by Clyforts in a total of 4 turns across the 2-game match, and otherwise, I just never needed it against Satellas. And then I don't play any Xyzers. I played a few Synchros, though. I played 1 Armades, because this card is incredible. I made this about 3 times. Really, really strong. 1 Vulcan, because my Goyo Guardian is still on loan, and I didn't have it. But Vulcan was really, really good for just bouncing itself and an opponent's Shaddoll monster, which was really, really good. I used Bulb and Moraltac to make this, and then just spin. And it was just pretty cool. There was a cool play I had in testing where I had Moraltac, BLS, and I went, I had Moraltac, and I summoned my BLS, banished my opponent's card, summoned my Bulb from grave, made this with the Moraltac and the Bulb, bounced the BLS and my opponent's monster, and then special summoned the BLS back and attacked for 5k, which was really quite cool. Just a little play I made that was kind of nice. Then for the Synchros, 1 Arcanite Magician. Sorry, for the 7s, 1 Arcanite Magician, really, really strong. 1 Michael, absolutely phenomenal. Made it about 3 times across the event. I made a lot of things 3 times, actually. Like, he was really, really good. Black Rose, never made it, but it was a thing. Another cool thing you can do is when your opponent has the breakthrough skill to stop this blowing up their field, you can have a Shaddoll in hand, you can Shaddoll Fusion this away into Grista. Then this will blow up the field, killing the Grista, and then you get the fusion back, which is kind of nice, and you get the effect of whatever Shaddoll you send as well. But it's the fact that this will resolve because the breakthrough will miss its target, which is kind of cool. And then the final 7 I played was 1 Yassi, Evil of the Yangzing, which I actually used against the Burning Abyss matchup, which was absolutely phenomenal, simply because of its first effect, which reads it cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. It basically just wins you the Burning Abyss matchup, because almost all of their outs are targeting effects, you know, the Virgil and all the traps. Literally the only thing they can do is make Acid Golem, and if you can play around the Acid Golem correctly, you can put them on a clock, which is really, really good. So that's why I played Yazzie, and then otherwise I played the 2 big powerhouses in the form of 1 Leo, which I made about 5 times. It was my go-to guy. I made him so often with either BLS Falco or Construct Falco, and then I played Star Eater, which I made twice, which was absolutely great. I'm just going to check the clock on the camera now, because I don't want us to be running out of time, and I also don't want it to finish on me. 17 minutes, wow. Right, we're going to go through the side somewhat quickly. Right, so for the side, 2 Vanity's Fiend. Some of my side deck cards are going to be sleeved differently, because I got a deck check and got a warning for bent sleeves, apparently, even though they're my side deck cards. Okay, so 2V Fiend. They were new sleeves as well. I felt this was going to be really strong against the Burning Abyss matchup and the Shaddoll matchup. I only ever had this in my final game against the Burning Abyss player, I believe, where I had a Yahtzee and this. I summoned Yazzie and this, and it was just game over. It was just a disgusting field. So, V-Fiend. 1 Santa Claus. It is legal over here. It's been printed in a European territory, so it is legal. I couldn't think of my 15th card, so I literally just tossed in a Santa Claus as an out to killer, because you could tribute this over killer. But that was literally the only reason I played this guy. I never sided him in. I felt he was kind of bad, but I honestly couldn't decide on my last card to side, so that's what I put in. The 3rd MST, outs. The Mind Control for the Mirror, because it's just really, really good. Double Chalice, which was the best card in the Mirror. It won me so many situations. It was just phenomenal. So, Chalice. It's the fact that you can use it in the damage step when your opponent's monsters flip that makes it so, so strong. Triple Fairy Wind, because you need this for the Shaddoll, for the Clyfort matchup. Sadly, when I did see it, I had no monsters to back it up with, and I just got beaten down by a normal summon with sacrifice behind it. So it is what it is. So you kind of want to draw this with monsters. Triple Chain D for the Burning Abyss matchup. I only played 1 Burning Abyss player across the day, unless you count the Shabbos player, and I never even drew one of these. I never resolved it, and I never drew one. And then I played 2 Rivalry, because Shaddolls can play Rivalry, which is kind of nice. And it just wrecks certain rogue matchups, wrecks certain situations. So that brings us to about the end of this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. I say deck profile, regional report. I definitely had a lot of fun across the event. To quickly talk through the actual matchups, I played against, round 1, I played a Shaddoll player. I ended up winning that game, I believe, 2-0. I just had really, really strong boards, and my opponent did not, so it was kind of just a solid match. Round 2, I played against the Shabis player. We ended up drawing. He ended up winning game 1. It took quite a long time. And then game 2, I just ended up crushing, but sadly it did go into time. Round 3, I ended up playing against another Shaddoll player, which was a match I managed to win. I cannot remember if it was 2-0 or 2-1. The round after that, I played against my first Clive matchup, my friend Callum, and he just ended up absolutely ruining me. You can, if anyone knows him, you can ask him yourself. It's his hands were just disgusting. I could have certain outs and he'd just be able to beat me down by the monsters. So I feel like the deck is very strong, but it's just not a deck that I enjoy playing. So it won't be something it probably won't be something you see on the channel until I actually borrow it off someone else. Then I was put into round 4. 4 through 5 were both Shaddoll matchups, which was really good because my mirror is really, really strong. I'm sorry to say. Round 6 was Satellanites, which I managed to 2-1, I believe. Satellite Triver is ridiculous. It's such a good card. The ability to bounce an entire field is crazy, and it happened so many times. There were so many scares. And then round 7, I ended up playing against Burning Abyss, my first Burning Abyss pure matchup of the day, which was horrifying because his turn 1, he already knew what I was playing. He'd seen me playing in the event already. His turn 1 was Special Graph, Tribute for Vanity's Fiend, set a back row, go. And I just lost. I was horrified because I really wanted to top that event because it was the Yangzing mat, which I really like. I'm probably going to keep this mat, actually. And he Vanity's Fiend me and just destroyed me game 1. But thankfully, I managed to drag it back games 2 and 3. In all honesty, I know so much about the matchups now that it's a really easy thing for me to do. I don't want to sound like a dick, but I know most of the theory and I know a lot of things to play around. So I felt that really attributed to the game. But I'm happy I won that match. I'm glad I managed to top with a draw. I hate having my draws. I almost always don't top if I get a draw. That's why I always complain if I get one. You'll always see me bitching and moaning at an event if I do get a draw. But that brings me to about the end of the report. So big shout out to Aylesbury for hosting their first ever regionals. It was a fantastic regionals. The prizes were a bit top heavy. First place got 5 boxes. Second place 2. Third and fourth 1 box. And I, in 5th, got 6 packs. So it was a little bit top heavy. I was a bit upset they didn't do a top cut, but whatever will be, will be. I thoroughly enjoyed the event. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And just to show you guys what you should hopefully expect next, I did manage to pick up a few bits of Burning Abyss, and I am expecting another Virgil and another Rubik in the post within the next few days, and that will be the next deck profile after this one. I hope you've all enjoyed. This has been Jamie the Kid 00, and I'll see you guys next time with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. Please feel free to like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more of the same. Share it with your friends if you think they could benefit from this, and comment down below if you've got any feedback. This has been Jamie the Kid 00, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.